stripes, $1,000,000 paychecks and moving wives. Black and white, use your blood to buy a life. Watch out, boy, 'cause they play me and they'll play you. We can be American too. We can be American too. We can be American too.
G'day pickers, and welcome back to the Guitar Garden. So my first encompassing lesson for all my new students who come to me, especially in real beginners, we're going to go through that today. So my number one tip is be in tune. If you're not in tune, you can be the best player in the world, it's going to sound woeful. I'm not going to go into a whole tuning lesson, which could take some time. So we're just going to hope that your guitar is roughly in tune. If in doubt, perhaps take it to a music shop, ask them to tune it for you, they'll tune it, or Uncle Gary. Everyone has an Uncle Gary who can play guitar. So for our own music education, we'd like to know that music runs typically for us A to G. There are a couple notes in between, but essentially 7 notes, A to G. After G, it starts again. So I have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, not H, not S, not P, not Q. After G, A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Hope you got that right. So all these notes are all over the fretboard. Just repeated. A to G. There's a few ones in between, but for now we'll stick with the A to G's. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Starts again. So all of our strings are tuned to a note. Standard guitar tuning. So as a mnemonic, I like to use, everyone has a different one. I like to use top string, fat string, elephants, and donkeys grow big ears. So elephants and donkeys grow big ears. 6 strings, elephants and donkeys grow big ears. So you can see we already have a repeating E. Top one, bottom one. 2 E's. So if you plan on tuning, keep this in mind. You can always buy a tuner. I like Snarks. There are lots of online tuners, but if in doubt, get Uncle Gary to do it, or your local music shop. So for my first lesson, I like to get guys and gals playing, making music. That's what it's all about, having some fun. So a few terms to get out of the way. Neck, guitar neck. Come in different varieties of wood, specs, thickness. Guitar neck. Tuners, tuning pegs, machine heads, some people call them. A nut, N-U-T. This is where our strings break over to straighten. The silver pieces in between, or along the neck, these are our frets. Now again, there are different varieties, heights, thickness of frets, but we're going to work with what we've got. So you might see someone say fret 2. So fret 2 isn't actually on the metal fret. You're not going to play this. So fret 2 actually means the space in between. That would be fret 2. If I said fret 3, fret 1, so 1, 2, we typically have a dot on fret 3, just as a guidepost, because there's a lot to take in. So we're going to be using our 4 fingers, index, middle, ring, pinky, which kind of sucks, but we're going to train that one too. So if I said to you from the top, we're going to use index finger on the A string. So we remember elephants and donkeys grow big ears. Elephants and my A string. So I'm going to say index finger on the A string on the 2nd fret. So I'm going to go right here. Now something to think about is how hard we're going to press. So I'm just going to pop my index finger in using long fingers and fingertips. Fingertips are key to getting a nice clean sound. So I'm going to pop my finger in. My thumb is going to be behind. Classical position will be in the middle of the neck, so we have a nice big gap. But from us and for cowboy chords, I would say I don't mind using this part of my thumb. So the thumb is going to be pressing away while your fingers are pulling in. So you get this fulcrum squeeze action. Okay, so I'm going to have thumb comfortably behind, index on the A string, 2nd fret. And I'm going to take my good or bad, rude finger, pop that on the D string. Elephants and donkeys. So I've got 1, I'm going to pop my middle finger underneath that one. Okay, so remembering long fingers, we want to create a little space between the bottom and our neck. So long fingers, thumb in behind as it feels comfortable. And we're just going to strum from the top down all 6 strings. Nice gentle strum. So if we hear this noise, we don't want to hear that noise. So that typically means you're not pressing hard enough. So there's a tiny little balance in between not enough and enough. It's not weightlifting. You don't have to squeeze, white knuckle it. We're just going to use fingertips, use your thumb, pressing away, fingers pulling in. I'm going to strum 6 strings down. So once you just play around, move your fingers around. It might feel hard on your fingers. It's going to, especially if you're a beginner. This is hard. Just try to get it nice and clean. So whether you're using a thumb, fingers, nails, or a plectrum, it's going to be the same principle. We're not going to dig in. We just want a nice gliding action. So this chord, 3 notes together, any 3 notes is the chord. So if we've got this one, the next easiest chord is I'm going to drop them both down. Exactly the same chord. Drop them down 1 string each. So now instead of playing the A string and the D string, I'm going to drop it down, D string and the elephants and donkeys grow. So it's the D and the G string. And we're going to strum from the A string. Try not to dig in. Nice gliding. Not digging in. Think about how hard we're pressing. How hard we have to press. Back to the E minor. Same chord, which is now an A sus, we'll call it. But for now we're just saying A. Slow is fast. This is muscle memory. This is like riding a bike. When you first ride a bike, you have to think about where you're going, your balance, the pedals, steering. But now you're probably out popping monos, doing jumps, tail whips, kicking it. This is muscle memory. You will learn this. My grandma would learn this. I want you to focus on nice clean chords. If we hear any, we're going to adjust our hand, our wrist, long fingers. Get your squeeze. So just like this is always moving, this is always moving. No one chord, I believe, can be played with the same thumb. So you're going to move it as needed. So for me, E minor, A, my thumb just automatically drops just a fraction. The wrist also drops. E, A. So work what's comfortable for you. So we have 2 chords right off the bat. E minor, it's A sus. We'll just say A. So I want you to practice 4 times strumming the E, 4 times strumming the A. Change as slow as you need to, make it clean. I'm going to switch back up. Switch, make sure you're in the right spot, got your wrist comfortable, good squeeze. So I just want you to practice that. Personally, I think this hand is more important. Whether you're left or right. Strumming hand. Rhythm. Rhythm is king. So even with just 2 chords, I could do perhaps right hand. Rhythm is king. Everyone wants to be the Widley guitar solo guy, which is awesome. I love to do it too. But you'll have this much of a song. Any song that you listen to off the radio that you love, if you're lucky, there's maybe a 20-second ripping solo. The rest is... chords. Chords are king. Don't get me wrong, we're going to get into ripping solos. Everyone loves a ripping solo. Well, guitarists love ripping solos. So the takeaway from this rather long first lesson, 2 chords, nice and tall, long fingers, E minor, drop them both down 1, I've noticed that I play a lot with my thumb and fingers. Plectrums, super useful. I'm not a huge fan because I've been playing long enough, it's more comfortable. But for most people, plectrums. So plectrums we're going to hold lightly but tightly. So my idea is finger, thumb, and I want to hold it light enough so that when it hits the string, the plectrum bends, not the string. I hold it too tight, I'm bending the string, pushing the string. I want my plectrum to bend against the string. So again, same 2 chords, plectrum, think of a plectrum as a scalpel. It's going to let you hit whatever you want, whenever you want. So I highly recommend practicing with a pick. Just remember not to dig in. We don't want to hear that. Play from the elbow unless you're in a punk rock kind of band. This we don't want. We want this all from the wrist. Doesn't matter. This is effect. This is the way to your fans. One last thing on picks, if you watch your favourite band, they'll have plectrums on the mic stand. This is because we want to be holding lightly but tightly, but sometimes they're going to slip. They're going to drop and you'll never find them. They're like socks for musicians, guitarists. Grab another one. So we want to be holding that lightly enough that it's almost slipping away. Tightly enough that it's not going to slip away. It's balance. that wraps up our first lesson for true beginners. Remember, elephants and donkeys grow big ears, because I want you to learn the names of the strings, not numbers. We'll do numbering later. I want my people to know what an A string is. I think that's important. We do paint by numbers, but I want you guys to be true musicians from the beginning and know what notes we're playing, as opposed to just number 4. 2 chords, E minor, A, sus, we'll call it A. Slow is fast. Just work on getting them clean. If it's not clean, it's too fast. So I had a teacher who always said that to me. If it's not clean, you're playing too fast. You're rushing. That's not good for anyone, especially for the people who want to hear it, or have to hear it. Slow is fast. And we get the beginning muscle memory right, you'll be good forever. That's it from me. Hope you enjoyed this. If you can do all the like, subscribe goodness, that'd be awesome. We're going to have a to Z list of guitar for beginners, intermediates perhaps, which will be coming soon. So remember, guitar's about having fun, making music. Until next time, same bat channel. See yous out there.